A metro school district is changing the rule for student absences. State Democratic leaders want more say in the budget process. And the Thunder take the court in Oklahoma City tonight. This is the KGOU PM News Brief for Wednesday, May 15th. I'm Deborah Shar. Mustang Public Schools is updating its attendance policy for the new school year. The Mustang Board of Education approved the new rules earlier this week that lower the number of allowable absences from 10 to 8 days. School officials say the change aims to combat so-called chronic absenteeism. The revised policy comes amid the district's new attendance campaign called Every Moment Counts. The initiative centers on how missed school can impact a student's academic journey. House lawmakers advanced administrative rule changes for the State Department of Education. State Superintendent Ryan Walters pushed for the new rules. State Impact's Beth Wallace reports committee Democrats tried 10 unsuccessful amendments to stop the changes.
The department is proposing more than 20 rule changes. They include tying school districts' accreditation statuses to test scores, penalizing districts for continuing to employ teachers under investigation by the department if they later have their teaching certificate revoked, and pulling state funding for districts with diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Tulsa Representative Melissa Provenzano authored several of the Democratic attempts to pull some of the rules from the resolution, but none were successful.
We should not tie high-stakes testing to accreditation. We should not subvert the Teacher Due Process Act. Members, I implore you to listen to your constituents.
The resolution now heads to the House floor. From there, it'll head to the Senate. But if the Senate decides not to take any action, the governor will still get the final say. For State Impact, I'm Beth Wallace.
Because of Oklahoma Republicans' supermajority, Democrats at the state capitol have little say in the state budget. But they do have a limited role to play. State Capitol reporter Lionel Ramos talked with Democratic leaders about how they fit into the legislative budget process.
The governor calling people into a meeting felt special. Democrats aren't at the table, but we're not surprised by that because that's what happens up here and we see it every day.
That's Senate Minority Leader-elect Julia Kurt. She says Democrats being left out of important budget decision-making is nothing new. Still, while they aren't at the table, either a figurative one or a literal conference led by legislative leaders and the governor, Democrats do have some say on budget matters behind the scenes, during committee meetings, and on their chamber floor. House Minority Leader Cindy Munson says a more active role in state budget making for the minority party is overdue.
Regardless of who is in the minority, I believe it is important that there is a place for the minority caucus to have a voice and to talk about the things that we're hearing in our districts about the needs of our constituents.
Munson says not giving minority lawmakers a voice is a disservice to those they represent. I'm Lionel Ramos.
The Oklahoma City Thunder will try to defend home court tonight at the Paycom Center in Game 5 of their NBA playoff series with the Dallas Mavericks. Oklahoma Public Media Exchange's Ryan LaCroix has this preview.
The Thunder squeaked out a 4-point win on the road Monday night to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Coach Mark Daignault says the hard-fought win was a good example of his players' competitive spirit.
The majority of the game doesn't go our way. I mean, it just we were down by 7, and it just felt like we were miles away from the lead at times. And, to just hang in there when the offense isn't just churning, to keep the game in striking distance and then to pull through was great toughness.
Game 5 against the Mavericks tips off at 8:30 tonight on TNT. In Oklahoma City, I'm Ryan LaCroix.
You can find more Oklahoma news on our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU AM NewsBrief podcast. I'm Deborah Shar.
Hi, it's Terry Gross, the host of Fresh Air. We bring you in-depth, long-form interviews with actors, directors, musicians, authors, journalists, and more. Listen to our Peabody Award-winning Fresh Air podcast from WHYY and NPR.